After watching Tales of the Jedi, I felt the only way to accurately sum up my feelings would be as follows. No! Words just cannot describe how much this show enraged me. I'll talk about Dooku's episodes first since I have the least to say about them. Honestly, I enjoyed them for the most part. There were only a few issues I picked up on, the first being Dooku force choking a guy in episode 2. The scenario just felt off to me. I mean, when I think of someone angrily force choking people, I think of Anakin. Duh. It's literally his signature move, but it honestly doesn't feel like something Dooku would do. But of course, why should I expect nuance from someone like Filoni? Speaking of Filoni, he's straight back to trying to make Mace look like a prick in episode 3, where Mace nonsensically blames Dooku for the death of a senator, and then says this line.
We are guided by our counsel and not by politics, nor ego.
The ego part is debatable, but I 100% agree with him on the politics aspect. Though naturally, we all know what message Filoni is not so subtly trying to shove down our throats with this dialogue, given his lousy attempt to victimize Ahsoka in Season 5 of the Clone Wars. No, Filoni, you've just further displayed your poor understanding of the Jedi. Moving on, I want to talk about the grossly underwhelming fight between Dooku and Yaddle. There is really no reason for me to care about this fight because I already know how it plays out. Dooku is very obviously a villain in Attack of the Clones, which chronologically takes place after Tales of the Jedi. So if this is supposed to be a fight for Dooku's soul or something, I don't care. This fight is effectively robbed of stakes. And it's not like Dooku and Yaddle were portrayed as close, so there's not even emotional stakes. And Yaddle's death was just pathetic. She stopped a door from crushing her, fell down, and then just let Dooku finish her off. Wow, that's so much cooler than Yaddle absorbing a freaking bioweapon in order to save an entire city. And that's just one of the many retcons in this series. Which leads me to the latter half of this video, where I'll be talking about the god-awful trash that were the 3 episodes centering on Ahsoka. Firstly, Filoni begins and ends the series with Ahsoka because of course he would. Secondly, he just cannot resist the opportunity to make Ahsoka look like even more of a raging Mary Sue than she already is. Beast Control, which is an ability which takes years to master, even for those who have an affinity for it, is just another Force technique which Ahsoka is immediately proficient in, despite being a literal 1-year-old.
How could this be? Ahsoka is Jedi.
Actually, I think this is what she meant to say. There. Much better. Anyway, episode 5 is a retcon in and of itself and just reeks of desperation on Filoni's part. Hate to break it to you, buddy, but no matter how much training for Ahsoka that you retcon into existence, it just isn't physically possible for a Jedi to combat sheer numbers. Also, would you look at that? Who would have thought that Filoni would use cameos in one of his Star Wars shows? Anyway, it looks like Generation Tech will have to update their video talking about how many times Ahsoka got knocked out. Seriously, the amount of brain damage she would have from this would be obscene. Good job, Anakin. Still don't know why the Council gave you a Padawan, though he was right about the initial test being lousy. Don't know why Obi-Wan felt the need to label Ahsoka's performance in it as impressive, since she was doing some pretty basic Jedi stuff. Also, the stupid lightsaber behind the back maneuver looks awful and is quickly becoming overused. Anyway, Filoni apparently thought it fit to subject us to his atrociously poor humor.
You're right on time.
Oh, really? I thought I was late.
That's what I meant.
You're right on time?
I thought I was late.
That's what I mean.
They fly now!
They fly now?
They fly now!
What Disney and Filoni fail to understand is that having characters repeat the same words does not automatically make it funny. Moving on to the final episode, Ahsoka is at Padme's funeral because sure, that makes sense. And then Filoni straight up tries turning her into Batman. This man just cannot be original to save his life. And in case you haven't seen enough of the Inquisitors being completely useless, here's one more instance for you to internally scream at. what was that, 2 seconds? I think that's a new record. Not to mention another instance of Filoni retconning the Ahsoka novel, alongside already having changed the circumstances under which she met both Bail and the Inquisitor. Filoni must really have it out for E.K. Johnston. And Johnston isn't the only creator he's disrespected with this latest abomination he's created, but to hear more on that, I'd recommend the Tales of the Jedi review by 100% Star Wars, which you can find linked in the description. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see my sister and I react to this series, we'll be doing a Patreon exclusive breakdown in future. But for now, if you've enjoyed my ranting, be sure to give the video a like, and subscribe to the channel to stay tuned for more such content. And don't forget to leave a comment down below voicing your thoughts on the series. I'm your Albi, and I will see you next time.